Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and it's been a few weeks since I've seen my team play a game of football, so to get my fix I've been thinking back and watching some highlights of my favourite Motherwell games, and I thought that I would compile a wee list for you of the 10 favourite or my 10 best Motherwell games I've been to. Now, there might be Motherwell fans watching this and my 10 might not be the same as your 10, but again it's subjective to how we felt when we think back to the game. So if you want to leave your 10, or even if you want to leave your favourite game in the comments, feel free to do so. Also, if you don't support Motherwell, then you can leave your favourite game for your team in the comments as well. But please like and subscribe as always guys, and I hope you enjoy this video. So let's start. In at number 10, I'm sure we can all remember the first game, and I'm no different. It was a December night in 1999, Motherwell v Dundee. I remember sitting in the main stand with my dad and my next door neighbour Jim, and the main stand is where I would sit for a lot of the next few seasons, or the end of the next few seasons I should say. And we managed to win that night. We won 2-1. Owen Coyle and Steve McMillan got the goals, and we won 2-1, and Sean Teal gets sent off, so we managed to hold on with 10 men that night. But one player I remember standing out, and it's a player who was a favourite of mine when I was younger, growing up watching Motherwell, was Jeb Brannan. He's just a midfielder that loved to tackle, when he could score, he kind of controlled the game. Definitely underrated. I believe that he should have played at a much higher level, and I'm sure if you look at some of his teammates like Kevin Twaddle, I'm sure said that about him as well. So Motherwell 2, Dundee 1, and at 10. But if I wish my dad would have told me that it would have got a lot worse, because I remember my second game was against Dundee as well, and we get beat 2-0, and Willie Faulkner scored with about 10 minutes to go, and my dad had to carry me out crying. If only I could have gone back and told my younger self that I was going to watch Motherwell get beat off Albion Rovers one day in the Scottish Cup, I might not have took that defeat as bad yet. But that's 10th place, Motherwell 2, Dundee 1. And at 9, a lot of you who might have listened to me on Off the Ball would have heard that I became quite friendly with James McFadden, and at number 9 is a game where he scored his first goal. We were playing Aberdeen, it was 2 each, end-to-end stuff, the game could have went either way. Faddy comes on, last minute, header, 3-2. You know what it's like, you see your team score in the last minute, it's absolute bedlam, but that moment was made even more special for me because Faddy decided to celebrate the goal with me, and that was really the start of the friendship between me and Faddy. And as you know, he would go on to do great stuff in his first spell for Motherwell before going down to Everton. I remember the goal that he scored against Livingston where they beat 4 or 5 players and then put it beyond. I'm sure it was Alan Main that was in goals for Livingston that day, so just sensational to be able to watch him play as a youngster when I was growing up. And I remember after that game as well, Motherwell Aberdeen fans fighting, just coming down for Fir Park Road, just coming down by the uppercrust. And there was Aberdeen fans throwing bottles over the car and everything. So it's just a mental day, but we got the best. And I remember going home and watching Sports Scene and thinking, am I going to see myself on telly? They cut it out, didn't even get to see myself on TV. Faddy was just running over the corner and then the camera panned to Eric Black. So yep, I was destroyed in my 5 seconds of fame, so I'm trying to make up for it with a YouTube channel, so I hope you don't mind. But no. We'll move on to number 8 now, and it's one at Celtic Park. We beat Celtic 2-1 and Louis Moult got a double, and why this game sticks in my mind is because I remember before the game my mate was phoning me saying, oh, I'll phone you when it's 4-0 at half time, you know, the usual, or he supports a big team, they're going to do us. But he didn't get to phone me at half time because it was not an each, and I turned into my mate Matt at the time and I said, you should have phoned him and just say, oh, what happened to 4-0? He goes, no, leave it at full time. And that was the right decision because Celtic took the lead with about half an hour to go. I'm sure it was near Beaton that rifled one for about 25 yards and they were 1-0 up. But we played well that day, we'd had a couple of chances, and we eventually got the goal. It was Louis Moult, the ball was played down the byline, it was cut across, he tapped it in. You're thinking, yes, we'll take a draw. at Parkhead, but then an absolute Christmas miracle happened because the game was in December. We get a penalty at Parkhead. I don't believe it, we actually got a penalty at Celtic Park. Scott McDonald was tripped just inside the box and William Moult steps up, slots it 2-1 and we hold out. Safe to say that I phoned my mate after that game and before they could even get a sentence in, he'd hung up.
These nuts. Got him! Got him!
So yep, there we go. In at number 8, it's Motherwell 2, Celtic 1 at Parkhead. Now, here's when we get into like semi-final kind of a territory. And I remember before this game I was a bag of nerves because it had been 7 years since I'd seen my team in a Scottish Cup final. And we were going in to play Aberdeen. Usually you get like Rangers or Celtic or somebody in a semi-final and you're not really expecting much, but getting into the game against Aberdeen, we'd already get the best of them in the League Cup that season, and they'd had a few players out. I remember they had the likes of Graham Shinney and Kenny McLean injured, so we were pretty confident going into the game, but still knowing that you're a Motherwell supporter and literally anything can happen. We could have turned up that day and get beat 4-0, but thankfully we didn't. We managed to win the game 3-0 and our nerves were settled pretty early on. Curtis Main scoring after 20 minutes and then 2 minutes later Ryan Bowman put the ball in the net and we're 2-0 up within 22 minutes and it's party time. Obviously I'd had a few vodkas to settle the nerves, but the nerves were soon dissipated with the 2 goals and you're thinking, just don't let them back into the game. I mean, they were pressing without really creating anything, and then Curtis Main goes up the other end of the park, runs through and goal, slots it in to make it 3-0 in the Scottish Cup final. But I've not got any finals for these on this list, because Motherwell always get beaten finals. Well, at least that's my experience of it. But in at 6, I could not put this game. I had to put this game, in number 6, because it's just got connotations of 6 or other places. It's Motherwell 6, Hibs 6 in 6th place. What a game. I mean, you're 4-2 down at half time and Colin Nish has scored a hat-trick, so that in itself is an absolute travesty to football, the fact that Colin Nish managed to score a hat-trick against anybody. But anyway, listen, that I remember it going 6-2. I'm sure it was Anthony Stokes that grabbed 2 after the break. My uncle turns out to me and goes, right, we're gone. And I don't know why, because usually I'd be like, right, we're 6-2 down. But I turned around and went, no, just stay to the end, there's only 20 minutes left. I mean, you never know what can happen. And they looked at me as if I was on drugs or something. Like, you never know what can happen. You're 6-2 down, you're obviously beat. But it was a miracle, and we get the 3rd, then the 4th goes in and you're thinking, surely no. And then John Sutton bullets a header in from a corner and it's 6-5. And then we get a penalty, but we miss the penalty. So you're thinking, game over, we're near the last minute. Wait a minute, the ball's just been hooked up to Lukasz Jutkiewicz.
Sutton, Jutkiewicz on the chase, might get there. Hamlin is with him. Jutkiewicz! Oh wow! Oh wow! Lukasz Jutkiewicz! It's the comeback of comebacks! It is Motherwell 6, Hibs 6.
That's right, what a goal. One of my favourite Motherwell goals. It just, honestly, it was like Van Basten in the Euros. He just volleyed it, bang, tap. It was one of these ones, the minute that it left his foot, you knew it was going tap bin. And I just went into absolute hysterics after that. It was one of the ones that I was shaking that much. I just couldn't believe I was watching. And we got to the point, it meant that we had to go to Ibrox to secure a European place and get a victory, but we only managed to get a point there as well, and Hibs beat Aberdeen. So they ended up pitting us to the European spot, which is maybe why this isn't higher in the list, but just in terms of memories as a game, it's one that I could go back and watch any time, and I always think about it every now and then. So, we've got to the top 5. There's some Rangers games in here, there's another Celtic game in here, but we don't start with either of them. In 5th place, in the semi-final, the League Cup 2005 against Hearts at Easter Road. I think I put this one so high up because it was my first semi-final and we won, and it was the manner that we won as well. We go 2-0 up. Stephen Craigan has a head trauma and manages to score at the right end for a change. He puts us 1-0 up, and then we get a penalty midway through the second half. Richie Foden steps up, slots it home, 2-0. You're thinking, that's us, we're through. You're a Motherwell fan, Stevie, you're never through. And then 10 minutes to go, we're still 2-0 up. Hearts get a goal back, and then the jitters come into our defence, and in the last minute, the lumber ball into the box, bang, 2 each. Extra time, you're thinking, we'll be on our knees here, there is no way that we're going to be able to pull through this. The momentum's totally with Hearts. Step up a young Mark Fitzpatrick. I'm pretty sure that was his debut, or at least it was definitely one of his first games for the club. He gets played through 120th minute of extra time. Craig Gordon, the size of Craig Gordon, bending down on him. Surely he's going to freeze. Nope, he doesn't. Sticks it in the bottom corner. 3-2. I get to see my team in the first Scottish League Cup.
Well, my first year, I played in
a cup semi-final, for the first time. And less said about that the better, because we ended up getting beat 5-1, and Maurice Ross, who's now at the club, even managed to score that day. So we'll move on swiftly to a better time against Rangers at Hampden at number 4. And it was one that was fairly recent as well, in the 2017-18 season, where we managed to get to 2 finals in the same season, the League Cup and, as I previously mentioned, the Scottish Cup. In this game, obviously you're playing Rangers in the semi. They've got the majority of the fan base there. I think we'd sold about 7,000-8,000 maybe, so you're expecting to be up against it. They've got the likes of Morelos up front. I remember them in the first half, they had a good few chances, and if they'd have took any of them, I think it would have been a totally different game. But we managed to hang into the game, into the second half. We got it to 0-0 at half time, and then we got a corner midway through the second half, and the ball kind of pops up from the corner, and it just Moult just taps it in. 1-0, so you're thinking, right, we've got a wee while to go here. It's against Rangers, it's at Hampden. There's no way that we're going to be able to hold out. But we done something even better than hold out. Just roll the clip. What about that for a goal? Honestly, I remember the ball floating in midair when he dinked it, and I'm going, that's in, and then I was off. Remember Barry Fry, the old Peterborough manager? I was just down to the corner flag in my wheelchair, pushing myself with my feet like a skateboard. Definitely no Tony Hawk, certainly no Tony Walk, but no, I was off, away celebrating with the Motherwell fans, 2-0 up against Rangers at Hampden. Brilliant. We beat them in a Scottish semi-final, and honestly, it got even better because Pedro Caixinha, he was sacked a few days later. So there was a wee story again about the Motherwell, where the Grim Reaper of Scottish football. That season, I'm sure we got Martin Canning sacked from Hamilton. We'd got Neil Lennon sacked, but no, we still had a few managers lose their jobs after we had beat them. On to number 3, and this game it's a weird one because it's not a game that should have really been enjoyable because of the circumstances, but it was just the way that we performed that day. It just encapsulated everything about the man that we were remembering that day, and it was the first game after Phil O'Donnell's funeral where we played Hearts in the Scottish Cup. We took 4,000 fans straight to Tynecastle. Emotions were high, like how are the team going to perform? They just lost their captain, and we certainly started disjointed as could have been expected. Hearts go 1-0 up early on, and they score again early in the second half, and you're thinking, this can't end like this. Surely no, I remember in Phil, don't want it to end like this. And honestly, I don't know what happened. The players just showed some amount of fight, some amount of dig. I mean, coin the term talking about Phil O'Donnell brave as a lion. The players on the pitch that day certainly were as brave as lions, and we managed to get 2 goals in the last 25 minutes and take it to a replay and won the replay at Fir Park. So no, just to come out of that game still in the cup and show the fight that Phil would have been so proud of, and to go and win the replay as well. And they have 4,000 fans at Tynecastle, which is a great stadium to go in terms of atmosphere any day. Just a game that constantly sticks in my mind. On to number 2, and I don't think that Celtic fans are going to thank me for this one. They'll certainly thank me for number 1, but they won't thank me for this one. Helicopter Sunday. Celtic are coming to Fir Park with the likes of Bellamy, Sutton, Hearts. Surely they're going to win the league. If they go 1-0 up early on, if this Sutton gets the goal, you're thinking, we're never coming back into this. Look who they've got on the pitch. In comparison to who we've got on the pitch. And I remember Gordon Marshall making save after save to keep them out. And at 1-0, anything can happen, and as you're about to see, and as you know, something did happen.
On from Sutton, it's launched away by Corey, and away chance here for McDonald. He's on his own. Griffin's in the middle, wants to cut back. Could be a second. Here's McDonald again. He scored again. 2-1 to Motherwell.
Yeah, just when that goal went in, wow, I think that's the first time I've ever said just tears of emotion at a game. Because it was just, you don't want anybody lifting a title at your home patch. And I remember looking about Fir Park, and particularly in the Cooper stand, just seeing nobody move when that goal went in. That's because I think 75% of the crowd that day was Celtic supporters who had bought tickets for the Motherwell end, and it was just the manner of the goals as well, the way that Scott McDonald just scooped the first one over his head, and then in the second one I'm screaming at him to square it to Jerry Britton, but he manages to chip that one over Rob Douglas as well. It's 2-1 and Celtic fans are going away disappointed now. I know we like to wind people up, but I would have hated to have been a Celtic supporter that day. That must have been probably the darkest moment in many Celtic fans' life supporting the club, but it was a pleasure to be a part of it. Thank you very much. Celtic fans won't thank me for that last one, but I'll certainly redeem myself with this one. In at number 1, it's a game as a club that we had to win. I mean, if we didn't win it, I think we'd probably still be in the Championship to this day. Well, at least we might be. We're going to Ibrox, play off to stay in the division. Everybody in the media is saying Motherwell have got no chance. Rangers are going to walk this, they're going to just waltz back into the Premier League. But that didn't happen. We came out 3-1 winners. What a day. It's my greatest day as a Motherwell supporter, because I was just so nervous going into the game. I think I'd had a half a bottle of vodka just to calm the nerves before I went, and it certainly started nervy. I remember Rangers having a couple of chances, Nicky Law had one just by the post. Had one deflected wide, and Kenny Miller had one just by the post. So it's a game that if Rangers scored early on, it certainly would have been different. But we managed to get the ball down the wing, it's whipped in. It finds its way to Lee Erwin. He kind of has a shot, come across, it's deflected, and it just goes into the net. We go 1-0. You're thinking, wow, where's this came from? But it got even better just before half time. Free kick swung in. Stephen McManus headed at the bottom corner. Now, if you look back at the highlights, you actually see my mate wearing a kind of a toffee kind of a jacket, and he's just on the barrier going absolutely mental. His face is bright red. I think I was behind him doing wheelies or something, or trying to wind up the Rangers fans, because I'm a bit an antagonist.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
My team scored a goal, but no, 2-0 up half time at Ibrox. And after the half time, you're thinking, right, just keep it tight second half. But Lionel Ainsworth, you had other ideas. That's right. Rangers made it 3-0 right after half time. Could not believe it. 3-0 or 5, it's in the biggest game to that point, I believe, in one of the biggest games anyway in the club's history. 3-0 up, they get a consolation goal, but then I was too busy singing and dancing, twisting and shouting. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to the second leg, but let's just have a look at Cammy Bell trying to use my left hand to save a shot.
Johnson, and debating a Foster. Owen off to the left. Goes through the middle though, Marvin Johnson. Defenders backing off. Took a deflection.
That's right, I don't know what Cammy Bell was thinking of there, but I was down in a pub in Stoke because we were going to Alton Towers the next day. My mum had said to me, either go to the game and you don't get to go to Alton Towers, or we go down and watch the game down there and you can go to Alton Towers. Now I love roller coasters, I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I thought I could still see the game and I'll still be able to go to Alton Towers. So as you can imagine, I'm sitting with my family, my cousin and my uncle and their Rangers supporters. That goes in and I'm right in their face like, yeah, it's getting up, you're doing the usual when your team scored a goal. But I forgot that I was in a family pub. I was in like a wee Wetherspoons with a TV and I nearly get chucked out, but no regrets. What a day. We managed to keep Rangers down for another season, and I'm sure Rangers fans will probably agree that probably benefited them because they come back with a much stronger team the next season and managed to come up. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was my 10 best Motherwell games that I've been to. Let me know your favourite game for your club in the comments, or even if you want to comment your top 10, feel free to do so. Like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Let me know if you want more top 10s, and I'll see you at the weekend for my review of hopefully the Motherwell Ross County game.